In the complex arena of global diplomacy, the United States' decision to impose sanctions on China's semiconductor sector was more than just a tactical move. It was a declaration of technological dominance. These sanctions, designed to limit China's access to cutting-edge chip technologies, stemmed from deep-rooted national security concerns. U.S. officials expressed fears that advanced semiconductors could enhance China's military capabilities and cyber infrastructure. As U.S. Secretary of Commerce Gina Raimondo put it, restricting China's access to these vital technologies is crucial for safeguarding national security interests. The stakes couldn't be clearer. Semiconductors are the backbone of everything from smartphones to artificial intelligence. By limiting China's ability to source advanced chips, the U.S. hoped to slow the country's technological rise. However, in its attempt to curb one rival, the U.S. inadvertently ignited a global tech rivalry of unprecedented scope. China's swift counteractions set the stage for a battle that transcended borders, amplifying geopolitical tensions and disrupting global supply chains. In 2021, China imported $432 billion worth of semiconductors, reflecting its heavy reliance on foreign suppliers. But by the end of 2023, that figure had plummeted to roughly $230 billion. A staggering $200 billion decline, signaling more than just a drop in trade. It marked a sharp pivot towards self-sufficiency. State-backed initiatives like Made in China 2025 have funneled billions into domestic semiconductor production. Companies such as Semiconductor Manufacturing International Corporation, SMIC, have ramped up efforts to reduce dependence on Western technologies. A recent Financial Times report highlighted a significant increase in China's self-sufficiency rate in chip production, underscoring a strategic shift toward domestic capability. This rapid progress raises critical questions. What does it mean for industries reliant on Western suppliers? Is China's growing tech ambition transforming the industry, or is it isolating itself? Stick with us as we explore the broader implications for global trade and U.S. companies. Please like, subscribe, and leave your comments below. Your support is vital. If you thought Huawei's downfall, triggered by U.S. sanctions, marked the end of its story, think again. In 2023, Huawei unveiled its Mate 60 Pro smartphone, powered by a domestically produced 7-nanometer Kirin chip. This achievement astonished industry experts who had doubted China's ability to innovate under the pressure of sanctions. Huawei's 5G base stations, built entirely with Chinese-made components, have further solidified the company's resilience. These innovations demonstrate how sanctions, once seen as a barrier, have become a catalyst for progress. Similarly, Huawei's 5G base stations have become critical to China's digital infrastructure. Industry analyst Dan Hutcherson from Tech Insights remarked that this signals a far stronger resilience in China's tech sector than previously anticipated. These milestones represent more than just technological advancements. They are declarations of independence. Consumers in China are already benefiting from more affordable 5G-enabled devices and better access to cutting-edge technology, while global markets are feeling the pressure of increased competition from these affordable alternatives. What does this mean for global innovation? The rise of Chinese-made processors, such as the Lungen series, is reverberating across industries from AI to aerospace. These chips, now powering supercomputing platforms and defense systems, are challenging the notion that only Western technologies can lead in advanced fields. A Reuters report from October 2023 noted that Chinese companies are leveraging domestic chips to drive innovation in industrial robotics and autonomous vehicles, sectors the U.S. has traditionally dominated. SMIC's production of 7-nanometer semiconductors has disrupted markets, enabling China to bypass export restrictions while making strides in quantum computing. But will these advancements enhance global access to technology, or are they deepening the divide between competing tech giants? Intel's Q3 2023 earnings report revealed a sharp revenue decline, with sales to China falling 27% compared to the previous year. Similarly, Texas Instruments, a major analog chip supplier, reported a $2.3 billion shortfall, largely attributed to reduced demand from Chinese clients. This downturn is not limited to these companies. It has broader repercussions for the tech ecosystem. As China strengthens its domestic production, U.S. companies lose a crucial revenue stream that once made up as much as 30% of their annual sales. This raises a stark question. Are sanctions backfiring economically for the U.S.? In 2020, China's share of global semiconductor manufacturing stood at 15%. By 2023, that figure had nearly doubled, reaching 30%. This growth has been fueled by substantial government subsidies and strategic partnerships with allied nations. A 2023 Wall Street Journal report revealed that Chinese chipmakers have built more than 50 new fabrication facilities in the past 2 years. This expansion not only diversifies global production, but also intensifies competition with established players like Taiwan's TSMC and South Korea's Samsung. How will this rapid growth affect product pricing for consumers, and what ripple effects will these changes have in markets beyond tech? The U.S. sanctions have also inadvertently harmed South Korea's semiconductor industry. Companies like Samsung and SK Hynix, which rely heavily on exports to China, are now facing reduced market access. As China's breakthroughs in DRAM and nanotechnologies continue to accelerate, they're quickly closing the gap with industry giants. Samsung's semiconductor division reported a 12% drop in revenue for Q3 2023, while SK Hynix faced its most significant profit loss since 2017. This shift, noted in a Bloomberg report, has both companies scrambling to adjust to a market where Chinese competitors are becoming increasingly self-sufficient. Will South Korea's legacy of innovation be enough to regain the edge, or is this a permanent realignment of the semiconductor landscape? China's influence stretches beyond hardware. Its domestically developed chips now power vital data centers, telecom networks, and AI systems nationwide. Companies like Alibaba and Tencent are replacing imported processors with homegrown alternatives. By 2023, over 60% of China's cloud computing infrastructure runs on locally made chips, according to Nikkei Asia. This transformation is a major step toward reducing dependency on foreign suppliers, bolstering the resilience of critical infrastructure, and even stabilizing the cost of electronics in China. Domestic chip-powered devices are now more accessible, reflecting a broader availability of homegrown tech. Meanwhile, global markets are feeling the ripple effects, with some regions facing potential shortages or price hikes due to their reliance on Chinese imports. But can such rapid growth be sustained without compromising quality? SMIC and YMTC are now key players reshaping the global semiconductor market. SMIC's ability to produce advanced nodes like 7-nanometer chips is a direct response to U.S. export restrictions. Meanwhile, YMTC's 2 and 32-layer NAND flash memory is setting new benchmarks in consumer electronics. These companies aren't just catching up, they're setting the pace in performance and efficiency. Their rise is challenging traditional industry powerhouses like Intel and TSMC, shifting the balance of global influence. U.S. sanctions, initially designed to stifle China's tech progress, have instead accelerated its growth. In response, the U.S. has begun to explore countermeasures, fostering domestic innovation through subsidies, strengthening alliances with key nations like South Korea, and pushing private sector R&D to regain a competitive edge. But are these measures enough to maintain technological dominance? Restrictions have forced China to pour unprecedented resources into R&D. In 2023 alone, government spending on semiconductor research surpassed $20 billion. MIT Technology Review highlighted that sanctions have created a survival mindset among Chinese tech firms, pushing them to innovate faster than many had anticipated. This resilience begs the question, have U.S. policies inadvertently handed China the tools to outpace its rivals? China's status as the world's largest chip purchaser gives it unrivaled leverage over global supply chains. In 2023, Chinese companies accounted for 38% of global chip demand, forcing suppliers to either adapt or suffer significant revenue losses. Even as U.S. export bans target Chinese firms, global suppliers like ASML and Applied Materials struggle to balance compliance with economic interests. What happens when China uses its purchasing power to rewrite the rules of global trade? The mass production of 232-layer NAND flash memory by YMTC marks a pivotal moment in memory technology, positioning China as a leader in high-capacity storage solutions critical for data-driven industries. With competitors like Micron and Western Digital lagging behind, could this advancement shift the center of memory innovation from Silicon Valley to Shenzhen? China's semiconductor self-sufficiency is reshaping global power dynamics. Not only does it reduce China's vulnerability to sanctions, but it also strengthens its bargaining position in international relations. Experts like Chris Miller, author of Chip War, argue that China's semiconductor progress is a geopolitical game-changer. Could this be the dawn of a new era where tech power shifts alliances and alters economic strategies? And if so, what challenges lie ahead for both China and the U.S. as this battle escalates? The question remains, how sustainable is this newfound independence, and what obstacles could derail it? The U.S.-China chip conflict serves as a cautionary tale of the unintended consequences of weaponizing technology. While sanctions aimed at crippling China's tech sector spurred innovation, they have also deepened global fragmentation. As the world becomes more polarized, the risks of over-relying on technological dominance are clearer than ever. What does this mean for future conflicts, and can nations strike a balance between competition and cooperation in the digital age? The US-China chip war is more than just a rivalry. It's a case study in the unpredictable consequences of geopolitics. To prevent further fragmentation, multilateral cooperation in innovation and trade policies may be crucial. International tech alliances could stabilize markets and foster shared growth, but will these efforts materialize? Or will the competitive dynamics continue to escalate unchecked? As China rises from the ashes of sanctions to emerge as a tech powerhouse, the global semiconductor landscape will never be the same. Stay tuned for more insights. Like and subscribe to stay updated. You can now check out another video on your screen.